Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli back with another review video, and that's right, I'm gonna be reviewing my next all-time favorite Disney animated film, number 22. Yeah, that's right, number 22, and that is, of course, yes, you read the title of what it is. I'm reviewing, of course, Meet the Robinsons. Yes, Meet the Robinsons. I love this. It's really good. Now, even because it's based on the book, with the name of the book is a bit different, A Date with Will Robinson by William Joyce. I am familiar with William Joyce and his work. Like, he's done, he did Roly Poly Oly. He was even one of the writers and I guess producers of Blue Skies Robots. And he also did Rise of the Guardians. And, of course, this... Meet the Robinsons. So, Meet the Robinsons, it's a really good Disney film, and I guess it's a bit underrated, don't you think? I mean, I guess. And because even the director, I remember listening to the commentary a little bit, Steven Anderson, the director, and also he did he did voices for many characters for the film, such as, Bowler Hat Guy, / Mike Yagubian, Aunt Billy, Tallulah, I guess that's how you pronounce her name. Yeah, and did a couple others. I think, Grandpa Bud. Yeah, because he did the voice of Grandpa Bud as well. You gotta help me find my teeth. I love that. Because Steven Anderson, because he really connected with this, according to him, because he really connected with the story of Meet the Robinsons and with Will Robinson, because like Will Robinson, Steven Anderson, he too was a adoptive kid, a foster kid, that kind of stuff, and he had adoptive parents. So yeah, that shows a lot for him, and why he connected with this so much, etc. And it was obviously this was a perfect fit for Steven Anderson. So, but anyways, so the movie is really good. The animation is great. It's the first, I think, it is the first Disney film to have, like, the new studio logo, because, like, from the new Walt Disney Pictures logo and with Disney Animation Studios logo, flip the pages and it's Steamboat Willie, Mickey Mouse. So that. Is it me, or, like, did Will Meet the Robinsons bring Disney back at its peak, like, doing great films? Because it was kind of, like, I want to say, like, I think it was the year of 2005 when Disney was kind of in a bit of a down low, because let's face it, they had Chicken Little, Disney and Pixar were having some troubles, that kind of stuff. So I guess, from 2004 to 2005, I want to say, between those 2 years. So later in 2005, things started to patch up, and with Bob Iger coming in as the new president and CEO, patching everything up, with Disney and Pixar's problems, that kind of stuff, But anyway, so, and Meet the Robinsons, because, Danny Elfman, for example, he does the music and score for this. I love the music in this. Danny Elfman does a fantastic job with doing, like, space and futuristic kind of music, Like, he did Mars Attacks, for example, so that's one thing. And I guess Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes kind of counts as well. It's sci-fi, that kind of stuff, so, So Danny Elfman, he does a good job when, like, he would do music and scores for something science fiction, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, and so, like, because the characters, for example, you have Will Robinson, of course, you have, let me see, yeah, Lewis, that is, that's his real name, Lewis, and you have, let me see, what was the other kid? Because I've got it right here. Yeah, Wilbur Robinson. Yeah, because that's who I was talking about, Will. I've got it on the tablet. So, and you have Franny, Will's mother, and Lewis's wife, that is. Bowler Hat Guy, as I mentioned. I can do a good impression of Bowler Hat. I did a voice impression, come, my dear, our future awaits. I can do a pretty decent job of doing Bowler Hat / Mikey Gubian. And then, some of the family members of the Robinsons, like, as I mentioned, Grandpa Bud, like, you gotta help me find my teeth. It's funny. Uncle Art, voiced by the late, great Adam West, a.k.a. Batman. You have Uncle Fritz and his wife, who's also an aunt, Petunia, but it's a dummy puppet, that Uncle Fritz is controlling and such. And Fritz and Petunia's kids, there's Lazo, and Tallulah. So they're both the children of Petunia and Fritz. You have Aunt Billy and Billy's wife, Joe, who's an uncle. And Joe, I think... No. Because Uncle Art and Uncle Gaston, they're the brothers of Franny. So Franny is the sister of Gaston and Art. So, and yet there is a montage, there is a scene because Wilbur asks Lewis of who he all met of the family and such. So, pretty well done because we all know who's connected to who, that kind of stuff. So, who's brother, sister, that kind of stuff. And Cornelius, because and Lewis asks Wilbur, what does Cornelius look like? Tom Selleck, and literally because Cornelius is grown up Lewis, and literally Lewis is voiced by Tom Selleck. Obviously, so and it's cool because having Tom Selleck be in a Disney animated feature, that's awesome. It's Tom Selleck. What can you expect? AKA Magnum PI, the original, who's at one point going to be Indiana Jones, that kind of stuff. Some of the other characters, like you have Dr. Willerstein, I'm pretty sure, Doctor voiced by AKA SpongeBob, Tom Kenny. You have Lizzie, like she has the fire ants, only my enemies. And who was the other one? Oh yeah, Lucille, because I haven't slept in 8 days, voiced by Lurie, what's her face, who is the voice of Andy's mom and was in Roseanne, so her. Then there's Tiny, the T-Rex. Tiny does have a voice, Joseph Mateo, I guess that's it, he does have a voice, obviously, and because Tiny does have some dialogue, but just like with subtitles. And the frogs, they were pretty good too, and them singing and such. Brandy teaches them how to do music, and is their conductor, that kind of stuff. And the funny thing is, because, like, for example, the characters, Lewis and Wilbur, they had 2 different voice actors. I know that one of them was, what's-his-face, who played Mike TV in Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He obviously was the voice of Lewis, but I think somewhere he hit puberty, and he got his voice, and a new kid actor stepped in to do the rest of the dialogue of Lewis, so... Wilbur, I'm not really sure. I really can't remember that much, but and I almost forgot the twins. At outside of the door, hey, ring my doorbell. No, ring my doorbell. Yeah, that kind of stuff. And no. Lefty, the butler, who's an octopus. He was pretty funny too. And just a lot of great stuff to it, like emotion and that kind of stuff. And Lewis wanting to find and get back to his mother in the past, who gave up Lewis. Just a lot of great stuff to it. And even when, because I almost forgot to mention Doris, the main villain, because Doris is the main villain. The main villain is a bowler hat. I really love when Mike Yagubian explains Lewis everything about with him and Doris, what they've been through, you know what I'm saying? And they both had one thing in common. They dealt with Lewis, they really screwed them up. Basically Lewis screwed them up, their future and that kind of stuff. Lewis was getting more attention and everything else, while Gubian, because he missed out on a ball game, he failed at a baseball game because, Lewis had kept him up from building a machine. And Doris, because Doris wanted to do something, disobeyed Lewis because of, being a helping hat, that kind of stuff, But the backstory, but Bowler Hat's backstory and Doris's backstory, they're really well done. And because even when Doris finally destroys the future, pretty much changes everything, and yet even we see some footage, Lewis walks in and sees some footage of Doris, well, with Lewis's machine, and like sees what happened in the past, and Doris took over, and even Mike Agubian, like, I wanted to ruin the boy's future, not this, and Lewis goes back to warn Mike Agubian, and even Doris is about to go literally lunge after Lewis or attack him, and like with a few words, Lewis says, "I will never invent you," and that pretty much destroys Doris. Vanquishes, never exists, that kind of stuff, and a horrific scream that Doris gives, and Lewis takes Mikey Gubian back, aka Bowler Hat Guy, to the future, and like sees everything that's happened, and Gubian like, Doris, I thought she was my friend, everything changes, and Lewis even considers having Mikey Gubian be part of the Robinson family, But Mikey Gubian, he walks off, and he's done so much, and he has a lot to think of, I guess, so, And, of course, as I mentioned, grown-up Lewis, turns out to be Cornelius, etc., voiced by Tom Selleck, and a little interaction and talk between kid and adult Lewis, and, I almost forgot to mention, because that one robot, what was the robot's name again? What was his name again? Hold on a second. I could look. What was that robot's name again? Who was it? Carl the robot. That's right. Yeah, Carl was pretty good too. I almost forgot to mention Carl because he finds out that it's Lewis. He was the first one to find out that Wilbur brought back Lewis to the future, etc. And yeah, between Carl and Wilbur, their interaction and their relationship, it's funny, and Carl was a pretty funny robot, and like even before Lewis says goodbye, like, hey, don't forget to build me, and like, are you kidding? Just and consider like giving me muscles, or like gives him shows him a picture or something, ideas like to make him muscular, I guess. Wilbur and Lewis, they travel back to the past because earlier in the film, because they had a deal. Like, if Lewis fixes the time machine, Wilbur has to take him back to see his mom. And so, Wilbur is staying on to that deal, and they do arrive, and Lewis is this close, but decides that, because everything that happened, and because with the Robinson family, that's his future. So, they say their goodbyes, Lewis and Wilbur. He goes back to the fair. The machine works perfectly, and because earlier, because Doris actually unscrewed a bolt, which caused some destruction, that kind of stuff, panic at the science fair, that kind of stuff at the school. Lewis meets his future, foster parents, Lucille and Bud, and all ends well. They have the house that they live in, which we would see, in the movie, and a quote at the end of the film from Walt Disney, around here, and we keep moving forward. And the three words, keep moving forward, those are the three words that would be used, that the Robinson family would keep on saying, and thus, Lewis would keep on saying, keep moving forward. So, well done, well put. I even love that remix of The Future Has Arrived. The future has arrived. It's really good, Oh, man. But Meet the Robinsons, it's a great and maybe underrated Disney film. I don't know if it's just me or not, but, I really love it, and it's really good. And I give this 10 out of 10. I love it. It's fantastic. The animation, the story, the characters, the music. Once again, scored and composed by Danny Elfman. It's Danny Elfman. What can you expect? And you guys let me know what you think of Meet the Robinsons. Leave comments down below, yeah, just leave comments. So what you think of it, that kind of stuff. So again, 10 out of 10 for Meet the Robinsons. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Meet the Robinsons. Meet the Robinsons. I'm talking too fast. More review videos coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video /review video. Take care, and peace out.